champions again, Liverpool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are on a fantastic day wherever you are around the world. And the transfer deadline day is officially over. Yes, the window is closed as of right now, but there was some good news today in the fact that Liverpool have signed two brand new centre backs at the club. Of course, Ben Davies from Christ, even I've forgotten where he's from Preston. There we go. And also as well, of course, Ozan Kabak from Schalke. Big, huge transfers tonight. Big news as well concerning injury news that was gobsmackly put on us, which was very, very sad. But as well, of course, some outgoings as well. So, we've got some news coming in, news coming out, and of course, injury news as well. But if you could do me the massive favor and please give the video a like, it's very much appreciated if you could do so. Also, as well, if you're new to the Cop Council and viewing us for the first time ever, then please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications, of course, anyway. But if we quickly say hi to a few of you guys, Cop Council's biggest fans and saying hello. Everything is in yellow tonight because, of course, it is transfer deadline day. And, of course, if you guys know Sky Sports News, it's yellow. So I thought, why not tonight? It says, welcome, Ben Davies and Ozan Kabak as well. Yeah, absolutely can't wait to see the both of them in action. Hopefully, maybe against Brighton, but it'll be telling to find out when they will both be playing anyway. CS Wall says, happy with the two centre-back signings. Yeah, I am. I hope all of you are as well, because I think a couple of days ago, I think all of us thought that this wasn't possible, of course, but now, thankfully, Liverpool do have centre-backs at the club. We don't have to fully rely on Jordan Henderson and Fabinho anymore. But, of course, I do think Fabinho will still be the number one centre-back. And then, of course, Ozan Kabak and Ben Davies will be rotating, I believe, with, those two and the likes of Nat Phillips and Reece Williams as well for this season. Hi, no Mustafi, so happy. Yeah, I think all of us are a bit happy. Of course, Schalke signing Mustafi. Anyway, of course, to be fair, very, very happy. I'm very, very happy that Mustafi is not, of course, joining Liverpool. Cockham's biggest fan says, sad to see Matip out for the rest of the season. Yes, we will talk about the Matip news anyway. But first of all, then, hello to everyone that is in the chat right now and everyone that is watching this. Of course, let's get on to the actual transfers and the things that you are actually here for. And that is, of course, the signing of this man, Ben Davies. Of course, we were all a bit shocked, realistically. I think it was 2 days ago when his name got mentioned, which was, a shock, which shouldn't surprise us anymore, I don't think, knowing Liverpool and Michael Edwards. But of course, his name was being thrown out there, and of course, today it's just been the countdown to announcing him at 8 o'clock tonight. I was on Doug's podcast, the Dugout Football Channel's podcast, and then they announced it. Then I thought I'd do this now because, of course, deadline day is over. We know pretty much now what everything is looking like in terms of transfers anyway. But yeah, of course, if I quickly get this up for you guys, it says, as you can see, but there, James Pearce confirming it. Liverpool confirmed the signing of Ben Davies from Preston for 1.6 million, 500k up front, with the release, with the rest in add-ons. Preston have a 20% sell-on clause at with any future profit. What will he offer Klopp, his former manager and teammates, explaining? And if you want to go and check out that article there from The Athletic, then please go and do so. But look, I think it's a very, very, very good move, as far as we know, and as far as like what we've been told anyway over the last couple of days, is that Ben Davies is one of the most reliable centre backs that Preston have ever known, as far as we know anyway. And the thing that's interesting as well, and one word that has been used with him, is the fact that he doesn't get injured, which is very, very good, realistically. And I think, of course, for 1.6 million pounds, you're not going wrong there. And of course, Liverpool will sell him on for a profit. I think that is fully expected if we was to sell him in the future anyway. But he's a left-footed and sided centre back anyway, which I think Liverpool have really missed over the last couple of years. Of course, we've had Virgil van Dijk playing on the left hand side, which of course he is the best defender in the world. But I don't think we've had a left-footed centre back in quite a while. I think so. The last one I can think of off the top of my head is Daniel Agger. But yeah, I don't think we've had one for quite some time at the club, of course. And I know many people love Daniel Agger, and I think many people are still in love with him, of course. But let's say hi to a few more of you guys. Diego is in. Hello, Diego. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, mate. Cockham's biggest fan says, I expect Klopp will bench them for the first few games to get a feel for the warm-up and stuff. Potentially, maybe they might come in. Who knows? Plays chess. Says, anyone else wonder why we was for Spurs players? Lol. Damn you, Preston. Lol. Yeah. To be fair, of course, everyone is saying we've signed Ben Davies from Tottenham. I know Klopp made the joke yesterday, which was pretty funny. To be fair, Chris says, I'm settled with the signings. Welcome to where greatness happens. Davies and Kabak as well. Barak Sain, I think that is. If I pronounce your name wrong, I do apologize. What do you think about Ozan Kabak? I will get on to my thoughts in a moment anyway, but guys, let me know your thoughts on Ben Davies as well. Do you think he will start against Brighton on Wednesday? I personally think he will be involved in the squad. I don't know whether or not he will start, but time will tell anyway. And to get on to Barak Shahin's comment about Ozan Kabak. Of course, Liverpool was linked to every single centre-back you could think of today, especially from the Bundesliga, of course, but it was this man, Ozan Kabak, Liverpool did end up going for. I personally thought, of course, the rumours were circulating that Liverpool were, looking at a centre-back, another centre-back other than Ben Davies, of course. Now, the original plan, I think, for Schalke was an obligation to buy, which for me was a massive no-go in my personal opinion. Of course, we've loaned Kabak now for 6 months until the summer. But if I can quickly get up on my screen for you guys, of course, Mr. Reliable again in James Pierce for you. To be fair, if I quickly, there we go. Of course, he says, but there, LFC confirmed that the signing of Ozan Kabak from Schalke until the end of the season, option to buy for 18 million plus add-ons in the summer, which I think for 18 million pounds and what people have had to say about him, I think it's a very, very good transfer, in my personal opinion. I think that, of course, a young centre-back, I know that he's at a, he's had a tough time at the moment at Schalke, of course, because Schalke are currently bottom of the Bundesliga. I think they've won one game all season, which, of course, is not good enough. But as far as we know, people have suggested he should be playing high-tier Bundesliga, of course. There was a rumour, and it got confirmed, that Newcastle United were just about to sign Kabak just before Liverpool come in at the last second and grabbed the Turkish international and brought him to Merseyside, which, again, Michael Edwards, absolutely fantastic job by Michael Edwards. I honestly cannot say enough of good stuff about Michael Edwards, because let's face it, like this time last week, I think we were all conceding the fact that Liverpool were definitely not signing a centre-back, and somehow on transfer deadline day we've managed to sign two centre-backs, which both of them look for great value as well. So it is interesting realistically on how we look at it realistically, in my personal opinion, of course. Anyway, Cockhan's fan. I expect eventually. I already read that one. I read that one as well. What else do we have? Kale's in says, do we think White and Sancho will sign in the summer? Probably not. I would say for White, of course. Anyway. Thomas says, what do you think the central defensive partnership is likely to be versus Brighton and Manchester City? Brighton, I would say probably Phillips and Henderson again, and then Man City, probably Fabinho And who knows? I think it'll be Fabinho and someone else as well. But we do have a special guest on the channel right now. He is in the lobby waiting for us to emerge him. And that is Mr. Mickey Friars. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Let me just turn off Sky Sports News 1 second. There you go. Sorry about that. It's been a transfer deadline day, which hasn't happened to us for quite a while.
I know, right? Like it's been a very long time since I actually can't remember the last time I think we've actually had a transfer deadline day. It's weird.
I know we've had one since, but to me, the last exciting one was the Torres one.
Yeah,
and you think that was 10 years ago. So,
well, yeah, and realistically, we ended up bringing in Andy Carroll for that, which the less said about that, of course, the better. But Mick, what do you think about the two signings? Do you think it's two good pieces of business, or do you think that I think all of us are in agreement that Ben Davies' transfer is a very good transfer. But I've seen a couple of people say that they are a bit concerned about the Kabak transfer. Are you happy with both?
I'm more happy with Kabak because I know more about him.
Okay.
So the Davies one, I'm hoping that's another Robinson. Getting, I think they've done their own work on him. Sheffield United wanted him in the summer, I'm hearing. And if Sheffield United wants him, he's good at playing on the ball because they like ball playing centre halves. I think he's going to be the rabbit out the hat that no one knows about and probably be amazing. Going back, thinking Robertson, and then the one before that was Rob Jones in the 90s. Somebody we plucked from the lower leagues. There are good players in the lower leagues. We know this. And maybe we've cut out the middleman this time and gone straight for him. Because normally we let him go somewhere else, then pay top dollar for him. So, but Kabak, why they're worried about him, I don't know. He's in a very poor side. He is the standout player in the poor side. And he does score goals, and his pace is immense.
Yeah, I know that, of course, we was linked to him back in the summer, which I think a lot of us were a bit unhappy about not signing him because, of course, we'd heard so many Bundesliga pundits rate him so highly in that sense. I think, for a 20-year-old centre-back where, Klopp can teach him a lot within 6 months. And then, of course, then we have the option to buy. I think that the thing for me was the big problem was if he didn't work out for us inside the 6 months, at the beginning of the day anyway, Schalke, they wanted the obligation to buy. But now because it's an option and that if he doesn't work out, then, we can just go, okay, thank you for the 6 months, We'll go and look for someone else that we were targeting. Of course, there was the Marseille centre back that we was linked to earlier on. I believe his last name's Carr. I don't want to pronounce the rest of his name. So, so we were linked to him. He was probably a target as well, but Marseille couldn't find a replacement in time, so they said no towards that deal. And Mick, I know that all of us has been saying that we needed a centre-back over the last couple of weeks, of course. And I think now we all know the reason why this has happened over the last 24, 48 hours. And that's because of this man, Joel Matip, of course. The Liverpool admin probably was crying when putting out the tweet. But yeah, it was confirmed that Joel Matip will miss the rest of the Premier League season and miss the whole entire season now due to ankle ligament damage, which is terrible news because now this is the third straight year in a row where he has had a season-ending injury. Now, and I know, Mick, that we said that Matip, he's one of the best centre backs in the league when fit. But do you think maybe Liverpool are with Kabak coming in? Do you reckon Kabak is the Matip replacement, and then we'll sign another centre back in the summer, or do you think that we're fine now for centre backs?
I think Ben Davies is the Lovren replacement that we were waiting for, that we should have got in the summer. For some reason, we never did. From what I'm reading, Ben Davies wasn't on our radar until Preston played City in a cup game.
Yeah.
And then, because as Klopp's going in, and all of a sudden Klopp wanted him looked at. But Kabak, I think, is the long-term replacement for Matip. I think once Matip's contract's done, we won't re-sign a new one.
Yeah.
I think it's done.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because I think he's getting injured way too much, especially for, someone that we're looking to rely on practically. But, I've seen people saying that Liverpool are cursed. Of course, in terms of centre-backs, all of our three major senior centre-backs at the start of the season are now all out for long-term. So we're cursed in terms of centre-backs, but hopefully we're not anymore anyway, of course. But Chris says Davies could well start against Brighton. Who knows? Wouldn't be shocked.
He's got to self-isolate. He can't play against Brighton.
Do they have to self-isolate?
Yes. So if he comes from club to club, it's 10 days.
Okay, then. So he's out for Brighton and City then.
I think because they knew the transfer absent, I think he could play against City or be on the bench, but he can't be in the squad for Brighton yet at the moment.
Yeah.
So there's all that rules. I don't know how long Kabak will be, because I think he has to have 2 weeks of isolation.
Yeah.
Completely.
Well, yeah, because he's flying over from Schalke, isn't he? So, yeah, I think that will be 2 weeks, but possibly. Minamino has just left on loan to Southampton. Yes, that is the other breaking news as well. Takumi Minamino has left Liverpool to go to Southampton on loan for the season anyway. I think it's a good move in terms of football-wise for Minamino personally, because, of course, Southampton... they're playing very, very good football at the moment. Of course, he could link up with Danny Ings and strike that partnership up. But, Mickey, I feel like it's a missed opportunity with Takumi Minamino, because a year on from his move from RB Salzburg, and now he's already on the move yet again. Are you a bit gutted that he's left Liverpool?
I'm shocked, because this wasn't on the radar till an hour and a half ago, was it? They started talking about it.
Yeah.
Now I knew they wanted Williams.
Yeah.
And that was like mid-afternoon and whatever. But this has just come. All of a sudden, I've gone, Minamino? What were you on about? And then all of a sudden, Sky were talking about it. I want to see whether it's with an option to buy before I make a judgment on it. So to me, if it's an option to buy, and it's £20 million, that's £13 million profit. Liverpool have done it again. The money ball thing that's what he was brought for. He wasn't brought to improve the team. He was brought in to create funds.
Yeah. As far as I know, and as far as I'm searching on Twitter right now, it is just a 6-month loan. It's not an option to buy or anything like that, as far as people are saying.
So I'm quite glad about that, because he does need to play more games in the Premier League. He's never going to get used to the Premier League if he's always on the bench. And we've all been going, why is Mini not playing? Now I know why. This must have been on the cards. These transfers don't just happen today like that. This must have been on the cards for a few weeks, and we've just sort of sat on it and allowed him to go today.
Well, apparently the Southampton have only been in for him since 11 hours ago. Apparently he's been an 11-hour quick job. So I don't know if Liverpool have gone, okay, we're not getting rid of Divock Origi. We've got Jota coming back. Maybe just give him the experience, like you said, of the Premier League, in the sense of, finding out, whether or not he can take to the Premier League. I think Liverpool and Jurgen will look at him very closely for Southampton this season, and then I think they'll make up their mind then towards the end of the season, because Southampton, they do play a similar style to Liverpool, which I think is the very good move in that sense. I think, to be fair though, I was more shocked at the fact that they put in a loan bid for Neco Williams. I thought that was a bit more shocking than the actual move for Takumi. So, was you a bit shocked by that as well, or was it just me, thinking like, wow?
To be honest, that didn't really shock me. I just thought, well, he's not getting any game time. We've got plenty of cover for that position anyway, any of the fullback positions. Robinson can move across and he can play the Greek lad, which I've forgot his name because he's already played for us. Timicus, that's him, yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing him get some games as well. But going back to the original subject, no, I wasn't. But Taki, he's unfortunate because Jones has suddenly come into the squad and Jones is ahead of him. So when he needed to change the game the other day, they brought Jones on and he changed the game.
Yeah. So
he's been unlucky, and I think Ox coming back to fitness has probably dropped him down the pecking order even more. So they're looking at it now. He's proper like 4th, 5th choice.
Yeah.
Due to circumstance and whatever, and he does struggle with the physicality of the Premier League. Perhaps a 6 months loan will get him into like the Premier League groove, and when he comes back, he's ready to fight, ready to get in the team. If he goes there and scores 20 goals, which probably, I know it's 6 months. If he goes and scores 10, 15 goals and looks the part, then we've done the right thing. If he goes there and can't get in the side, was there any point in doing it?
Yeah, no, there wouldn't be no point, in my opinion. But we just have to kind of hope that is the case, that he can just straight and walk into that Southampton team, which I think he could do, because, they may change their system a little bit, because I know they maybe go for a 4-4-2 or maybe a diamond, which he could play in the number 10 role and just play balls through to Danny Ings week in, week out. So fingers crossed that does happen anyway. But Doug's in. Hello, Doug. Says 2 in and 2 out. Davies and Kabak in. Said Vanderberg and Minamino out. Not happy about Minamino going out on loan either, but good luck to him at Southampton. Could he make his debut at Old Trafford? That would be interesting.
I think he's got to self-isolate again. I think when they move, I don't think they can actually play the games in midweek. I think they. I don't know. There is massive new rules. They were on about them earlier on how long they have to self-isolate, and obviously they're going to test these every day until they get in, because you don't know, do you? You can't.
No.
I think we've risked it before, and it's, you look at Aston Villa and Newcastle, they've never recovered for 3 months. Newcastle are still
suffering.
They've got 2 or 3 players that haven't recovered from it yet, so it may never be the same again.
Well, yeah, you look at us. All right, it was only a small amount number. Like Thiago had it, Sadio had it. That we were lucky that it was only them two at that time. But like you said, Newcastle, they've missed the likes of St. Maximin. There's been many people as well, loads of people in the under 23s as well for Newcastle, which, has hit them massively, of course. Jack's in saying, all right, La, hopefully having a fantastic day, Jack. Jack, if you want in, mind come in. I did put it in the Skype group if you want to come in and have 2 minutes or whatever. Kabak, he was linked with us last summer. It's a good deal. On fact, if it doesn't go well, we can send him back to Schalke. Yeah, exactly, Chris. I think, like we said, the Kabak deal is, a perfect deal for us. Like I said, if it was we had to buy him at the end of this summer or towards the summer, then that would have been bad, in my opinion. Anyway, I want Kabak. For good. I'll get me. For God's sake.
On that, I think Kabak was a summer target anyway.
Could have been. Maybe it was like for the right price, because I think they were charging, 45, 50 million, I think they wanted. And now we're getting him for 17 million, which, it's a bargain then realistically if he works out. But the one thing that I liked was the fact that we've managed to hijack 2 transfers from different clubs as well. Ben Davies was going to Celtic on a free. That was already established. And Kabak was on his way to Newcastle. But he was going to sign for £17 million, but Liverpool just ran in and got the deals, which I thought was absolutely fantastic as well. Benton, hello Ben, hopefully on a fantastic day, mate. Kale says, is Kabak on loan? He is for 6 months, and then we can buy him then in the summer. As well, the one thing I will say as well, Preston have first say as well on Seb Vanderberg, because of course he's gone on the other side. He's practically swapped with Seb Vanderberg and Ben Davies. They've both swapped. And yeah, next season, apparently Preston have first say what happens with Seb Vanderberg as well. So if he impresses in the Championship, then that would be very, very good for Liverpool as well. But Johnson saying, greeting good people. Hello, John. Hopefully having a fantastic day, mate. Godcastle's biggest fan. Yes, with an option to buy for £20 million. Chris says, only thing with Kabak is mentality, of course. He was in a spitting incident. Doesn't mean he's a good defender, though we've had players in the past in our history, like Suarez, for example. Yeah, that's true. And I know there was that whole controversy with him doing that, which was talking point. And I know many people, question him over that as well, which will be interesting as well, especially if Klopp can keep him, tamed. Then really, but to be fair, he is 20 and he is still young. To be fair, John says, how would you rate our transfer business, Mickey? How would you rate?
Necessary.
Good word.
But also, we could have gone out and gone for the top targets, 40, 50 million. With the current climate, I think the club have gone and been sensible. The Kabak deal, they wanted it to be a permanent move no matter what. In the summer, we managed to negotiate an option. Yeah. So, yet again, Edwards has done it again. Because if Kabak fails, we just send him back.
Exactly.
We just send him back, and if he's a success, guess what? He's a Liverpool player for 5 years, and that's how it goes. Davis, if he fails, I think the initial fee is 750,000. The initial fee.
We pay 500k up front today, and then we pay the rest then installments then over a certain amount of time, and it's done over performance based as well.
So if he's a failure, so transfer business is like rate it out of 10, it's 9 again, like it always is.
To be fair though, I said this on Doug's podcast. People have said, Liverpool, of course, using Jordan Henderson centre backs, and that recently. The fact now that we have 2 fit and ready centre backs when they are available, now I think puts everyone back on alert that Liverpool have now their biggest threat back in Jordan Henderson playing in midfield, which I think everyone's got to be aware of now. Do you see it like that as well, or do you think that people should just be aware of us anyway, being the champions?
Everyone is wary of us. We've had a little blip. It was obvious we needed a central defender. You all know my thoughts on it. That it would, if we hadn't got a central defender, even if Matip was fit, if we hadn't got one, it would have been criminal, and we was at risk. But I was worried when we lost Van Dijk. We haven't leaked that many goals since he's gone, so we've lost something from the build-up, and I think that's because we've got our 2 best midfielders playing in defence.
Yeah,
I think Fabinho moving back to DM will be a massive, massive boost.
Yeah,
for the midfielders, and I think Trent and Robbo have suffered with him not being in, because he drops back into their position, doesn't he? I think they have. I think both of them have suffered since Fabinho's moved back in, because whoever plays there, Thiago and Gini, that's been playing there, they're not the same as him. They're not defensive minded. They're very forward thinking players rather than defensive thinking players. So, I think overall out the team balance again. The team plus new signings give teams a boost anyway. I've said this before. Signing someone when you're on top and you're winning, you just need to sign someone to keep people fresh and keep people going along, and then just going, "Whoa, he's coming in to get my place." I don't think Liverpool's centre-back business is over. I think in the summer there's going to be big moves.
Yeah.
There's rumours Van Dijk's back in April, so that's a boost. But most big teams, you look at City, they've got 4 centre backs now. You need 4 good centre backs, and we can say, I remember we did a podcast in the summer, and we was on about Lovren when he went. If they don't replace him, what happens if we get an injury to Gomez and Van Dijk? And it bloody happened.
I remember. To be fair though, we all said it though, didn't we? We didn't want to be like a Man City. It didn't want to be like a coin, reversed. Then really, in the sense that we were struggling with centre backs, and we were like, okay, we've got all 3, Matip, Gomez, Virgil. We've got Fabinho as well. We should be okay, But then, to have 3 of our first choice, centre backs all injured and long-term injuries as well. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. I can't remember a club going through that in my lifetime. There may have been, maybe in the 80s and that maybe there might have been, but I cannot think at all of a top-tier club having all their centre backs injured at one time, which like I said, I think we're cursed after winning the Premier League title in that aspect of things anyway. But Chris says Minamino needed the move. Klopp clearly thinks he's not good enough yet for Liverpool, so not surprising really. It is, in my opinion. Chris also says all the best to Seb van der Beek at Preston on loan. Good move for him. I think that is a very good move for him, to be fair, because if he can rock it out in the Championship, then he can do it well then for Liverpool going forward anyway, of course. Liz says evening, Mr. Friars, as well. So,
evening, Liz. How are you?
Hello, Liz. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Says happy deadline day as well. Happy deadline day to you as well. To be fair, we should mark this day as an anniversary.
Waited 10 years to say that.
God's sake. Kale says, is it a short term or a 1 year or 2 year? What's that for? I think you're on about Kabak. It's a 6-month loan deal with it, and then we can buy him in the summer. So
for 5-year deals, it will be once we buy him.
Yeah. So there you go. Jeannie says, evening lads. Hello, Jeannie. Hopefully on a fantastic day, mate. Seema says, maybe Minamino going out on loan to Southampton might be the best for him to get game time. And we have Jota to come back as well from injury, who would be ahead of Minamino as well. Yeah, like if you take the opinion of some people put Jota ahead of Bobby Firmino. So of course he's going to be over Takumi Minamino as well with that as well. Jeannie saying hi to Liz as well. Hope you are as well. Seamus Moore agree. It will give him a chance to show his talent. I think that was with Minamino as well. Yeah, like me and Mickey said, him just having Premier League football time would be brilliant. Really. Diego says, I think if both are match fit, Klopp may play at least one. With the injuries, Klopp has been forced to settle 12 different centre-half pairings in 21 Premier League games. Yeah, I've seen this on Sky Sports. I think Carragher was going through it, to be fair, with Gary Neville. Liz says, I love Matip when he can play. I think he's done at LFC. I would agree. I think he is on the edge of leaving. To be fair, Saeed says Liverpool offered 50 million for. That was a no. We contacted Juventus about him, but it was quickly swept away.
We weren't going to spend that kind of money in the January window.
No, because we also contacted the guy from Bayer Leverkusen, wasn't it? For 50 million. I can't think of his name, but he was also being rumoured as well for Liverpool today anyway. Jeannie says, I don't see the new lads starting any of our next 3 games. They need to learn the system. I see Minamino improvement at Southampton. Yeah, I would agree. Liz says the Kumi loan deal pays for the 2 new loans. Does it? I don't know whether or not they put a fee. I don't know if they put a fee onto that. I don't know whether or not they have.
There will be a loan fee. There always is for us.
That is true. That is true.
We have got great links with Southampton, so Southampton won't be paying a lot.
Yeah,
we do have a lot of good links with them.
Yeah, we do. Well, yeah, look, 2014 Liverpool was Southampton FC, for pretty much the most of it anyway. Batesh says, I swear Liverpool get me every time. I expect nothing, and they go savage and do a double swoop. Yeah, they do. Doug says, my voice has gone, Connor. I was going to jump on, but I'm just settling down for the evening. That's fine, mate. We'll be going off anyway now in a minute because we've gone for 35 minutes. I was planning to do a 20-minute video confirming all the transfers and that, and, we've gone for a bit longer, so I absolutely love it anyway. And thank you to everyone that's tuned in anyway. Feel better, Doug, says Liz. Thanks, Liz. Everton have signed Josh King. Ooh, that's a good signing for Everton.
That's official, and also they are, because he's a free agent, in negotiations with Diego Costa.
No. Everton? I thought a top 16 put a bid in for him, or put a contract down for him.
I don't know, but apparently the rumours are that he's talking to Everton, and because it's a free transfer, he can join after the deadline.
That deadline, yeah. Bloody hell! I don't want Costa at Everton. That would be annoying. Doug says, and if you watch Sunderland till I die, Josh Major has just signed for Fulham or Major as well. Very interesting deal.
He's just spent 2 years at Bordeaux banging goals in, so he's a lot better player than when he was at Sunderland. So
no, well, yeah, because they did Sunderland replace him with. How did they replace him with? I forgot his name. He had a song about him, didn't he? The Northern Irish guy, Will Griggs. There we go.
Oh yeah, Will Griggs. So far,
yeah, because I think they spent like £4 million, which was the most in League One at that time. So yeah, it will be interesting anyway. But before we head off, then anyway, Mickey, how would you assess Liverpool and business today?
Very good, but I think they should have done it a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Unless they force these teams into lower prices by waiting till the last day, that's the only thing I can think of. You can't tell me that they knew they needed a central defender in October. So,
yeah, I know what you mean. But to be fair, at least we've got him now. Maybe if it was at the start of the month, maybe Schalke might even have asked for even more money and that for him as well. But, at least now we've got the 2 centre-backs in. Of course, I'm very much looking forward to seeing what Ben Davies can do. Of course, left-footed centre-back. Like we said, Daniel Agger was the last left-footed centre-back that I can think of. I love Daniel Agger. I think everyone loves Daniel Agger.
But he was another Matic, mate, always injured. If he'd have stayed fit, he probably would have been the best defender in the Premier League. He was great when he was fit.
He was. He truly was. If any of you guys remember the strike he did against Blackburn at Anfield, that was naughty. Anyway, but before we go, of course, let's show you quickly Ozan Kabak's Twitter. Of course, he has now added the Liverpool background, which I think is very, very nice. To be fair, I do very much like that. And he is now a full-on Scouser as well, which is absolutely brilliant, to be fair. But yeah, thank you to everyone. And the last comment then of the video, Vitesha said, Michael Edwards is a gorgeous man. He is a bloody gorgeous man, and we all love him for it. So yeah, thank you to everyone that has tuned in to the video. I do very much appreciate it. I've seen the numbers that we've had tonight, and it's been pretty good. So if you're new here and viewing us for the first time, then please hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to enable notifications, because YouTube hate notifications for some mad reason anyway. But yeah, Mickey, thank you for coming on, mate. That is very much a pleasure. Where can we find you on the socials, mate?
It's mfries50 on Twitter, and it's Mickey Fries on Facebook.
There you go. All Mickey's links as well is in the description down below. Anyway, I've made sure to keep them all in there, all the lads. So you can find out Doug, you can find out Jack's, Dave's, and Mickey's as well. If you all want to go and check the lads out as well, because I think they all them have made content today, of course, as well. So please go and check all of them out. But until next time, guys, that is going to be it from us. Liverpool have finally signed 2 new centre backs. We've now got centre backs at the club, of course, but thankfully, that's actually done and dusted now, and hopefully they can play and impact Liverpool's season for the better anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from us. I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all later on. Trout.